Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today on Latakin's Noor Kitchen we're gonna make cream filled filo pastry or cream baklava. Yes, that's true, and no matter how you say that, this Middle Eastern dish is easy to make, relatively fast, and devastatingly delicious. You're just enjoyed a heavy comforting rich meal, and now you're craving something sweet and just as comforting for dessert, but you also want it to be very light and refreshing and super easy to make. Well, my friends, that list of dessert is very short, but this super simple cream-filled filo pastry is on it, and I'm very excited to be sharing it with you. And to get started, the first thing we do is toss in 1 big cup of water into a big pan, to which we will add a little touch of sugar, about 2 cups. Plus, to give it that old-fashioned flavor, a spoon of lemon juice also, and then we'll finish up with 2 slices of lemon. And that's it. Well, take a whisk and give this a good mix. And then we go ahead and place that over high heat and then patiently wait for this to come to a boil, which is gonna take a couple minutes or so. Then turn off the heat and set it aside to cool down. We want the sugar syrup to be cold once it's used. So now let's move to prep our cream filling. So in a big pot, I'm gonna add 2 cups of whole milk, and to that we're gonna add 1 cup of whipped cream. You can also use the 3 cups of whole milk, not a problem. Last but not least is 6 tablespoons of cornstarch. So to every cup of milk or whipped cream, we need to put 2 tablespoons of starch. Give that a mix until all the starch over there dissolves, and then we'll move on and place that over medium-high heat. We're gonna cook in this, stirring pretty much constantly, using some kind of whisk until the mixture gets hot and reaches a heavy consistency, or until it thickens. And we're gonna go ahead and finish this up with a tablespoon of cream cheese. And while this is optional, but it really makes a difference in taste and texture. Now once we're happy with it and the texture is what we like, we can go ahead and in a big pan we'll spread the cream filling and let it cool down to room temperature. So that's gonna be the perfect time for us now to prep our filo pastry. Well, we need to buy a bucket of filo pastry, but all what we're gonna use are about 16 or 17 pieces only. Cover the rest and take it back to the fridge where you can use it in another recipes. And then other than melting 150 grams of ghee, we are pretty much ready to start assembly. So we go ahead and take the ghee and brush it generously onto our first piece. And once that's being gheed, we go ahead and start building our dessert by layering up 15 to 16 sheets of filo pastry. And if you happen to see little tears here or there, or uneven edges, small holes, do not worry, okay? We're not machines, we are humans, and things are gonna happen. But the good news is when this is done, nobody will ever, never know. So please stack these layers with brushing every one with ghee, then the other, and so with no fear. So what we'll do is drip over about a tablespoon at a time. So we go ahead and build the filo pastry as shown, and I think the minimum number of sheets should be at least 15 or 16. And yes, you can certainly do more, but I do try to get away with the least amount of filo I can, where it still come out crispy and amazing. But anyway, once we finish layering the sheets, we're gonna cut these into a beautiful traditional rectangle pattern, and to do that we'll make 2 cuts, and then we're gonna put that 3 rectangle above each other and cut these into 4 equal squares. Thus we can have about 12 square pieces of layered filo pastry, and if you know what you're doing, which I don't, you will get perfectly shaped, absolutely even pieces. In other words, the opposite of what I get, which is every single piece of different size. But as you'll see, once this is cooked, it looks amazing no matter how you cut it. But anyway, we go ahead and cut the cream that we prepped into the same number of our filo pastry pieces, so that's gonna be easier for us to fill them. Plus, every little piece will be filled with the same quantity, so I recommend you to do the same. So let's take 1 piece of filo pastry and put 1 piece of the cream on it. Fold it to half to shape a triangle, then try to even out the cream from the 2 sides, at which point it's finally ready for the oven. Let's finish the whole quantity and put them in a sheet pan where we have to brush the top 2 with our melted ghee again. Now let's go ahead and transfer it into the center of 180 degrees Celsius oven until it's beautifully browned. Here we go. And just to help you, visualize the bottom is gonna be one shade darker than the top, so I use that as my guide. So that is looking just about perfect, and what we'll do is let that sit for about 5 minutes before labeling over our syrup. And by the way, if you have a guest over, make sure they watch you do this step, because there is no way to do this without being cool. It's impossible. But anyway, we'll go ahead and apply that to our still hot tray, and that by far the hottest step. We have to let this cool down to room temp before we eat it. Alright, it's not good hot, nor is it good cold, because the ghee hardens. This, in my opinion, should be eaten exactly in room temp. And while you're waiting, you can just stare at it and pick out your base. That's it. Once cooled down to room temp and possibly pistachio dusted, our dessert is ready to enjoy. So let me take a fork and dig in, and we get to the amazing taste in a minute. But first, I want to brag about the absolutely perfect ratio between the cream and the pastry, and as far as the taste goes, if there's a better bite than sweet tangy cheesy cream and a crispy buttery pastry, I'm not sure what that will be. But if you know, please share, because I would really like to eat that. So I was really beyond thrilled with how this came out, and for something that is so easy to put together and relatively inexpensive, this very well may be my favorite autumn dessert. And if you're going to one of those gatherings where you're supposed to bring something, this is probably what you should bring. But either way, whether you're making this for other or to selfishly enjoy by yourself, which is certainly nothing to be ashamed of, I really do hope you give this amazing cream-filled phyllo pastry a try soon. Thanks for watching, and if you liked my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, follow and share so you can help me get more people to reach Latakians in our kitchen. See you later!